Hello everyone, all of my lovely students. Welcome to another live lesson. You can see today we're gonna look at make or do. That's a common question I get. Make or do. And we're gonna look at these two verbs. But as you know, I love to say hello to everyone here. So if you're here, if you're watching, give me a little hello in the comments and I'm gonna try and click on you. I'm gonna try and do everyone. Okay, let's start. Vijayasri, hello nerd. It's great to have you here. Thank you for saying hello. So Lynn, hi to you too. Really nice. We have Sorab, always gives me a thumbs up. Thank you. Flavia, good morning. Oh, it's morning for you. For me, it is 1 p.m. It's the afternoon. Wonderful. Thank you. Greetings from China. Hello. Thank you for being here. Dima, good to see you. Anglaise Pro, hello. Natalia, good to see you. Let's do a few more. I love seeing all of your hellos. Keep them coming. Fred, hello, good morning from San Diego. Ooh, cool. Okay. Well, from Bangladesh, hello. You know, we need to get started. I would love to chat and say hello to you all day, but we gotta focus on the lesson. Okay. Make or do. I'll show you all the pages we're gonna look at today. I know it's small for you. I'll definitely make things bigger. Don't worry. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 pages of notes to go through. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of information, a lot of vocabulary, but we can do it. We can do it. If you want all of these notes to download to study later, you can join my English Nerd membership and download all of these notes at the end of the lesson. Okay, good. Let's start. We're gonna start with the basics. So if you already know the basics, just wait a moment. We'll go through everything. I wanna make sure we're all on the same page with these verbs. Okay, I will zoom in. Here we go. And yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Basics, make. You know the verb forms. Make, made, made. I make, you make, he, she, it makes. Get that S there? We make, they make. Good, that's clear. Do, did, done. I do, you do, he, she, it does, we do, they do. Okay, good. Oh, Jian Li, hey nerd, says I can't watch, had to work, but hi Arno. Oh, thank you for saying hello. Thank you for saying hello. Okay, so there are lots of ways we can use make and do in English, but I want to go over the basic definitions first, just the basic definitions. When we say make, we mean to create something new. You are making something. You are creating something new. Today, we are making clay animals. We're making clay animals. We're creating something new. It's art. And clay is this substance here. You know, it's very soft. It comes out of the ground. Clay. Let's make a plan for next Saturday. Let's create a plan. We can use make like this. Do. Do is just actions in general. We do things. We do things every day. A. What are you doing? I'm looking for flights. I want to book a flight. I'm looking for flights. I can do what I want. I'm an adult. You know, actions in general. Do can also be an auxiliary verb. A. Does Karen work from home? B. Karen does not work from home. So this is a mini summary. If you want more information on auxiliary verbs, I do have a full lesson on my channel. Just search for auxiliary verbs on my channel. Okay, good. Ooh, we have Kamachi. Good to see you. I'm glad you could make it. Arnell makes useful and interesting YouTube videos for English learners. Thank you. Yes, I do make videos. Very nice. Good. Manuel says, don't make any plan for next Saturday. We have a dinner gathering with the family. Yeah, nice. Normally we say, don't make any plans. Don't make any plans. Do you have any plans? Good. Okay. So we looked at the basics. The basics are done. But in this lesson, we're not going to focus on the basics. We're going to look at collocations. Right. And keep your comments coming. If you think of any example sentences, just put it in the chat. Practice. Practice using do, practice using make. Any examples you can think of. And don't worry if you're wrong. You gotta practice. Don't worry about being perfect. Okay. How far down do I want to scroll? This is good. Make or do collocations. This is what students find really confusing, and that's what I want to focus on. Collocations. So you might be thinking, what's a collocation? Collocations are two words that naturally go together. You have to memorize collocations. Collocations are not logical. And as we go through this lesson, you'll see that collocations don't always make sense. Let's do my examples. Okay, we'll go through each column. And we're going to start with make. From now on, everything's going to be make, 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 make. Eventually, I'll switch to do. First one, you make your bed. See, this is a collocation. Make your bed? Are you creating your bed? Collocations don't make sense. When you make your bed, you make it look nice in the morning. I make my bed every morning. And you know what? I want to do a poll. Do you make your bed every morning? Look on my YouTube channel and answer the question. Okay. 1 second, I gotta create the poll. Do you make your bed every morning? Yes. No. Sometimes. My answer is sometimes. I don't make my bed every morning. Nope, sometimes. Okay, on my channel, you see a poll. If you can, answer yes, no, or sometimes. I'll check on the poll in a few minutes. Okay, good. Make your bed. Next one, let's keep going. And I'll zoom in some more so we can really isolate each one. Okay, we make a decision. We don't do a decision. You have to remember, make a decision. We gotta memorize these. Are you going to study for the IELTS or TOEFL? You have to make a decision. Make a mistake. Now, this is a common mistake. Do a mistake. We always make a mistake. That's a collocation. Remember it like this. M and M. Make a mistake. It's completely normal to make mistakes when you're learning a language. Manuel says, I make a million mistakes every single day. Life is so hard. Okay, that's a lot of mistakes, but nice example with make mistakes. Vivian Faisal asks, what's the difference between make a decision and decide? They're the same. Make a decision is just using the noun, decision. Decide is the verb. You can choose. It's up to you. Good. Right. I'm seeing some really good examples. Keep them coming. Really nice. Okay, we have a long list to go through. I have to keep moving. Make a wish. Make a wish before you blow out birthday candles. That's the tradition, right? You make a wish and then you blow out the birthday candles. And blow out means this. That's blow out. Dalton, good to see you here. Every week I make mistakes cooking my meals. Yep. That can happen. That's why we meal prep. Good. Make an effort. Definition, to try hard. With some of these collocations, they're self-explanatory. I won't give you the definition, but some of them I will. If you make an effort, you try hard. If you want a good score on your exam, you need to make an effort. Make progress. Make progress. This means to improve or develop. Sorry, I just needed to use my channel name. I started watching Arnell's Everyday English. Every day, I'm making a little progress. That's what we want. Step by step, every day, just a little progress. Okay. Anglais Pro says, students need to make an effort in order to succeed. Absolutely. You have to make an effort if you want to improve. Ganesh says, people make wishes on their birthday. Exactly. Every birthday, I make a wish too. Let's go to the next column. I'm gonna scroll up. Don't get dizzy. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Ooh. Make money. This is an important one. Make money. This means earn. You earn money. I'm so happy I can make money working from home. Okay, Suhail, this is quite the sentence. I try to make no mistake, but somehow I managed to make a mistake about not making mistakes. That's kind of like a tongue twister. But you got make right, we make mistakes. Let me check on the poll. I want to see what the results are. Let me check it out. Oh, so do you make your bed every morning? 58% of you say yes. No, sometimes. Wow, that's really good. The majority of you make your bed. Okay. Charlotte is asking, Teacher, what does progress mean? Progress means improvement. You are going up. For example, you start at beginner with English. Beginner, elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate. Progress is going up. You are improving. Okay. Make a profit. Make a profit. This means a business earns more than they spend. This is good. You want to make a profit. After 6 months of being open, the Little Bean Cafe finally made a small profit. This is money they can take home. Finally, we make a profit. I'm curious, what's the opposite? We make a profit is we have more money than we need. Not more money than we need, but we earn more than we spend. What's the opposite of make a profit? I'm going to wait. What do you think? What's the opposite? Ooh. Vegan says, can we take loss? We don't take loss, but you're on the right track. Suratan, you got it. The opposite is make a loss. Make a profit? Make a loss. Let's take a look. Here we go. Make a loss. A business earns less than they spend. They're in the red. They're in the red. Our ice cream shop only makes a profit in the summer months. We close for the rest of the year, or we'd just be making a loss. Make a profit, make a loss. Yep, some answers still coming in. Really nice. Madurika, make a loss. Exactly. Kamachi, you got it. Make a loss. Good. Raul says, I made a great profit out of selling my car. Excellent. Yeah. Good. Next one. Make a mess. We make a mess. A mess is a disaster. Everything everywhere. That's making a mess. My toddler made a mess on the kitchen floor. You can see here, for example, what is this? Is this flour or sand? I'm not sure, but it's definitely a mess. A toddler is a child who is learning how to walk. You know, they kind of walk like this. They're learning. That's a toddler. Elvira says, the children made a mess in the living room with their toys scattered everywhere. Good example. Are you this learning? Oh, this is the one. Enrique says, my son made a mess in his room. Yep, absolutely. Kids usually make a mess. I mean, and adults. Everyone can make a mess. Good. And actually, let me write down the adjective. The adjective is really common too. So mess is a noun. You make a mess. But the adjective is messy. Messy. Ooh, this bedroom is messy. I'm a messy person, for example. So mess is a noun. Ooh. Why can't I click this? Anyways, I can't move this for some reason. Okay. And messy is the adjective. Flavia says, my niece made a mess in my room. Yep. They can do that. Okay. Next one. To make an excuse. To make an excuse. This means to invent a lie to explain why you did or didn't do something. An excuse, is it always a lie? No, but a lot of times it is. Jake made an excuse about traffic to explain why he was late, but we all knew he just overslept. So he invented this lie. He made an excuse. Oversleep is the present. Overslept is the past. To oversleep means to sleep past your alarm. If your alarm is set for 7 and you oversleep, you wake up at maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So oversleeping is not good. Honey says, made up. That's a great phrasal verb. Yes, when you make something up, you invent something. However, when we make something up, it could be an excuse, but it can also be a story. You can make up a story. You can make up a name. You can make up lots of things. But if you make an excuse, you're explaining why you did something or why you didn't do something, and usually it's a lie. Kind of the classic excuse is, sorry teacher, I didn't do my homework. What's the excuse? My dog ate my homework. That's a classic. Khan says, I'm going to make an excuse of why I joined the lesson late. Yes. Tell me why you weren't on time. Good. So, Manuel pointed out something interesting. Oversleep is negative. Oh no, we're gonna be late. I overslept. However, sleep in. Sleep in is a phrasal verb which means you sleep longer than normal, but this is because you want to. Like on a Saturday morning, you can sleep in. Sunday, you can sleep in. So there's a difference. To oversleep is bad. You didn't wake up. To sleep in, that's good. You're just resting. Okay. Nice. Okay, that was the last one here. We have another page of make collocations. And again, these are things you just need to memorize. I mean, yeah, we have a whole list. And I put together the most important ones for you, the most common ones, in my opinion. Make a phone call. Sylvia stepped outside. Sylvia stepped outside to make a phone call. Can we just say to call someone? Sylvia stepped outside to call someone? Of course. This is just a different option. You can make a phone call, or you can just use the verb to call someone. Both are fine. Good. Ismail says, sleep in is great. Absolutely. Sleeping in is great. I agree. If you can sleep in, that's wonderful. You know, I always wake up early. I'm an early riser. I'm a morning person. I hardly ever sleep in. Even if it's the weekend, I wake up at like 7. Yeah, I hardly ever sleep in. Flavia says, I made an excuse to skip class. Just kidding. I'm glad you're joking. Never skip my class. Good. Next one. Make an appointment. We make an appointment. Good morning. I'd like to make an appointment, please. We can say book an appointment. We can say schedule an appointment. All good. Just choose which one you like. They're all fine. Charlotte says, teacher, please one day explain the order of adjectives in a sentence. It's a bit confusing. I have a red big ball or I have a big red ball. Charlotte, I have a lesson on my channel about adjective word order. Go to my channel, search for adjective word order, and it's a recent lesson. I think I released it this year. This year I released it. Okay. Make a reservation. Make a reservation. I'd better make a reservation or we probably won't get a table. I want to compare two things. Okay. Make an appointment or make a reservation. What's the difference? You're still reserving something. When we make an appointment, this is a professional setting. You make an appointment with a doctor or a dentist, a hairdresser, someone who cuts hair, a hairdresser or a barber. Hairdresser is for women. I go to a hairdresser maybe once a year. A barber is for men. You make an appointment with a lawyer, a job interview, a business meeting. In these cases, you need an appointment. To make a reservation, you reserve a space. Like at a restaurant, you reserve a table. This is kind of your space. You can make a reservation at a hotel. Flight or train seats, you need to reserve your seats. Theater, cinema, or a rental car, you can reserve a rental car. So there is a difference here. Okay. Kamachi is asking, the term hairstylist is for both, isn't it? Absolutely, a hairstylist. A stylist. Yeah, a hairstylist. Men, a hairstylist. Yes, I mean, men can have their hair styled as well. Yeah. Elvira, we called the restaurant to make a reservation for a table for two on Saturday night. Really nice. So, when you see this vocabulary, let me see some of your example sentences. Keep them coming. So thank you, Elvira, for that example. Let's keep moving. We can make a speech or we give a speech. They're both fine. Make a speech, give a speech. Those collocations work. The students were asked to make a speech about their future goals. I wonder, when was the last time you gave a speech? Yeah. I don't remember the last time I gave a speech, but teaching a lesson is kind of like giving a speech. It's similar. Okay. Manuel is asking, difference between a reservation and subscription. Absolutely. A reservation is what we looked at here. You reserve a table at a restaurant. You reserve a hotel room. This is to make a reservation. A reservation is one time. A subscription is monthly. Every month, you either pay a small amount or normally you're paying, like if you have a magazine subscription, a website subscription, you're paying monthly. Kamachi, should it be on stage? Going back to making a speech. It doesn't have to be a stage. For example, it could be on a stage, like a very formal speech. But like at a wedding, there doesn't need to be a stage. Someone just stands up and they give a speech. A speech is pretty formal. It's pretty formal. Yeah. Davide says, I make a reservation in the new hotel in Rome. Right, so it'd be better to use the past. I made a reservation. I made a reservation in the new hotel in Rome. Yeah. Okay. Laurent, hello, says, I can't make a speech. I'm too shy. Yeah, some people don't like giving speeches. Absolutely. Okay. Make a noise. If something makes a noise, there's a sound. My washing machine is making a weird clicking noise. It's making a noise. It shouldn't be making a noise. Yassine says, deliver a speech. Yes, thank you. You can also deliver a speech. That's just a little bit more formal. Give or make a speech. If you deliver a speech, that's just the more formal verb. But that's really nice. Dalton, when we give a talk, Can it be considered like making or giving a speech? There's a difference. Usually when you give a talk, it's a presentation. It's usually educational, maybe even about your business. But a speech, yeah, it's a tough one. A speech is usually not considered like a presentation. A speech isn't educational. Generally, a speech is more inspirational, motivational, that type of thing. Maybe you're talking about how great this person who retiring is. Maybe you're at a wedding and you're talking about how great the couple is. So speeches are more personal. Okay, next column, let's move up. So we can make or file a complaint. You make a complaint. You file a complaint. And this means to formally complain. Often, on paper or online. I want to speak to the manager. I want to make a complaint. This is pretty official. This is pretty formal. You make a complaint. Make a promise. Don't make promises you can't keep. And to keep a promise means you do what you promise. If I say to someone, don't tell anyone, and this person doesn't tell anyone, they've kept their promise. So here, don't make promises you can't keep. Vegan, complain versus complaint. Complaint is the verb. I can say to someone, stop complaining. You complain too much. But a complaint is the noun. You make a complaint. Raul says, my new car started making funny noises. That's not good. Your new car should not be making any funny noises. But good example. Julia says, a child makes a noise when he wants to get the center of attention from their parents. Right, absolutely. So we could say a child makes noise when he or she wants to be the center of attention. We are the center of attention. Zahid says, can we say make food instead of cook food? Yes. Make food. Make pasta. Make soup. Absolutely. Dalton says, we usually say here, make a promise is make a debt. Oh, that's a good one. Making a promise is making a debt. That's right. If you promise someone something, you owe them. It's kind of like a debt. fun. My house door is making noise always, right? We can say my front door, or my house door always makes noise. Always makes noise. Good. Okay. Make a deal. To agree on a plan. You make a deal. Let's make a deal. I'll help you with your project if you help me with mine. So when we make a deal, it can be related to business. It can also be personal. Let's make a deal. PK is asking, how do we know where to have do or make? In this lesson, we're focusing on collocations. That means two words that naturally go together. So here, you have to memorize. With deal, we make a deal. We don't do a deal. So far in this lesson, we've been looking at make. So for now, you have to memorize which words go with make and which words go with do. It's confusing. There usually isn't a rule. It's about memorizing. Okay. Make friends. This is a nice one. We make friends. Children make friends more easily than adults. I think children make friends very quickly. Hi, what's your name? Do you want to be my friend? Yeah, let's be friends. But with adults, it's a little bit more difficult. It's not easy to make friends. Banu, we should make deals in a good decision. So we should make deal in a good decision. I'm trying to see, I see where you're coming from. I'm trying to change the sentence a little bit. We should make good decisions when making deals. We could say it like that. Ivan, let's make a deal. I will pay for the movie tickets if you get the popcorn. That's a good deal. Good. Okay. Make a difference. Make a difference. This has a really unique definition. To have a positive impact on a person, the environment, or anything really. One kind word can make a difference in someone's day. Imagine you're having a bad day and someone says something nice to you. This can have a positive impact. This can really make a difference. Your donation can really make a difference in the lives of these children. There can be a positive impact. Kai says, making friends for extroverts is easy, not for introverts. Right. Yeah. I'm curious, are you an extrovert or an introvert? Ooh, let's do another poll. Okay. So I'm going to end the other poll. End poll. And I can see from the poll, most of you make your bed in the morning. Very good. I'm curious about you, my audience. Are you extroverts or introverts or somewhere in the middle? I want to find out. Okay. Are you an this would just take a second. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Or somewhere in the middle? Okay, I'm going to start that poll. Are you an introvert, extrovert, or somewhere in the middle? Let me know. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. Okay. I'm usually very quiet. If we're in a group, I'm usually very quiet. I listen. Okay. Right. Okay, let's keep moving. Make a point. Definition: to clearly express an argument. You make a point. I didn't agree with her, but I could see she was making a point about the need for better communication. Her argument was very clear. I understood her. She made a good point. I just didn't agree with her. It's like when you're having a discussion with someone, or if you're arguing, you're having a little fight, and someone else makes a good point, you're kind of like, oh, I can't say anything back. They made a good point. They really clearly expressed their point. Lawrence says, introvert, of course. Natalia says, I wouldn't say you're an introvert. You are always alive. You are always live. This is funny, Natalia, because alive means not dead. You are always not dead, which is good news. You are always live. This is interesting. I am more of an introvert, but it took me a long time to decide to do live lessons. It took me a couple years to decide, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go live. Yeah, so a lot of people think I'm an extrovert because I'm a teacher, but in my life, I'm more of an introvert. Okay. Good. Okay. We finished the make list. Yes, we did. So 2 pages of make. These are the most common make collocations I could think of. Yes, there are more, but I think I've covered the basics. Let's move on to do. And again, don't try to think about the logic. Don't try to understand, why are we using do here? Really, just memorize it. Okay. Do homework. You have to do your homework before dinner. Not make homework. That's a common mistake. We do homework. And homework is always singular. It is uncountable. Do my homeworks. Do homework. Do housework. I hate doing housework, especially the dishes. And these are different. Remember, homework is studying at home for school. That's homework. Housework is cleaning. Cleaning and cooking. That's housework. Ernesto says, I'm glad you made the decision, very nice, of going live. Me too. Thank you. I enjoy this. I love that you're here watching these lessons. So thank you for being here. I'm really happy I decided to go live. Okay. Honey, isn't house and home the same? They can be the same. House is usually the building. I need to buy a house. We're going to sell our house. Home is more where the love is. This is our home. Your country can also be your home. It's kind of where you love being. But with these two here, there's a very clear difference. Homework is about studying. Housework is about cleaning. Okay? So we do housework and we do other things as well around the house. Let's take a look. We can do the dishes or do dishes. The is optional. And that means washing the dishes. We can do the washing up. Same thing. This is more common in British English. I need to do the washing up after dinner. But these two are the same. Do the laundry or do laundry. You know, that means washing your dirty clothes. Do the cleaning. Do the ironing. Do the ironing. Or do the vacuuming. So you can see with housework in general, we say do. Do the cleaning, do the ironing. Good. Shyla says we can do the dusting. Absolutely, you know, you can dust your house, get rid of that dust. We do the dusting. Yeah. Anglaise Pro says we can do chores. Exactly. All of these things here are chores. You have to do your chores. Ugh, I don't want to do chores, for example. Okay. With all of these, do the cleaning, do the ironing, do the vacuuming, you know, a lot of times we often just use the verb for these activities. I need to clean, I need to iron, I need to vacuum. That's okay too. You can just use the verb as well. You can do your hair, you can do your nails, and you can do your makeup. This means to make your hair, nails, or makeup look nice. This picture here, I quickly did my hair and then spent half an hour doing my nails. Good. Let's keep going and keep your examples coming. Absolutely, keep them coming. And I'm going to check the poll, the introvert or extrovert poll. Wow, most of you are introverts. Oh, yes. Good. So if you haven't done the poll, on my channel, you should see a poll there. Select one of the options. I'm curious, I really am. So most people are introverts. Okay. Where was I? Do exercise. The verb is often used. Many times we just say exercise, but we can also do exercise. Same thing. I've been sitting at my desk all day. I should do some exercise. I should exercise. I should get out and do some exercise. Do work. We do our work. This is very general. I don't really speak to anyone in the office. I just do my work. I just do my work. Khan says, getting difficulties to make a sentence. It's getting difficult to make a sentence. There are a lot of collocations in this lesson. I really feel like I want to give you everything, and then you can take your time later and look through everything. Do someone a favor. Do someone a favor. Definition: to do something nice for someone to help them. Usually because they asked you. This picture here, can you please do me a favor? Can you please do me a favor? I really need someone to cover my shift tomorrow afternoon. So when you do someone a favor, you're doing something extra nice for them. You want to help them because they asked you. Good. Okay, here we see a combination. I need help with my homework. Can you do me a favor? You know, if you ask this question, oh, this is a good example. When we say do me a favor, this doesn't necessarily mean help me. It does, but it's extra special. So if I say to someone, I need help with my homework, can you do me a favor? Maybe I'm asking you to do my homework for me. Or maybe I'm asking you to teach me something. It's something a little extra special. Okay. Enrique says, I just do my friend a favor. It'd be best to use a past simple. I just did my friend a favor. Yes. Do business. We do business. To buy, sell, or trade with a company or person. Many international firms do business in multiple countries. You know, buying and selling is doing business. Oh, Suritan, thank you very, very much for your super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay. And this is something nice to say to someone after there's been some sort of deal. If you've made a deal, if there's been some sort of payment, you can say, pleasure doing business with you. Pleasure doing business with you. This means thank you for doing business with me. You might hear someone say this. It might be in an email. Malgo says, I had to ask my neighbor for a favor when my car battery died. Absolutely. If your battery's dead, you know, you need to charge it. You can ask your neighbor to help you. So this is nice. Here you ask someone for a favor. That's another good way to use it. Ask someone for a favor. Okay. Do damage. To cause damage, physically or emotionally. If something does damage, it can be physical or emotional. Let's look at physical. The storm. The storm did damage to several houses in the neighborhood. You can see it's been damaged. It can also be emotional. Growing up in a toxic environment can do serious emotional damage to a child. Hi, this is my first time here live streaming. Thank you for joining me. Good to have you here. Good. Okay, we have one more page to go. Let's take a look. One more page with do collocations. I'm sure your mind must be spinning. There's so much vocabulary, but we gotta get through this list. Always come back. You can come back to this lesson, rewatch it. All my live lessons are always on my channel. And if you want the notes, you can become a member and download the notes to study later. Okay. We are almost done. Well, one more page. To do well. You do well. This means to achieve good results. Bill didn't expect to do well in the competition, but he won first place. He did really well. Phoenix, so many collocations make a mess in my memory. There's a lot. There's a lot, absolutely, but there's no getting around it. We gotta look at all of these. Shyla says, She did well in the examination. Excellent. We all want to do well on exams. In life, we want to do well in life. Anywhere, really. Kamachi, my landlord asked me not to do any damage to his house. Absolutely. All landlords want their houses to remain perfect. Okay. Do your best. Do your best to try as hard as possible. You don't need to get an A+ on the test, but try to do your best. Make an effort. So doing your best, do we mean you have to be perfect? No, it just means you have to try as hard as you can. Mylene says, I did well on my exam. Really nice. Honey, what is a landlord? Perfect. A landlord is the person who owns your house and you pay them rent. So my landlord owns this house. I pay him rent every month. Maya says, he did his best to win, but it wasn't enough. Exactly, you have to do your best or try your best. But sometimes you won't win. Dalton says, I'm doing my best to learn English. Excellent. I think you are, Dalton. I agree with that. I think you are doing your best. Okay. Do research. To do research means to research. We just have the noun and the verb. The journalist was doing research for an article about the impact of social media on mental health. You know, you do research, you look in books, you look online, you might interview people. This is all doing research. You want to find information. Okay. Shyla says, Miss Arnell asked me to do research on what kind of organisms can survive in space. Yep. Good. Lewis says, I've been doing my best to pull myself through. Keep going. Do your best. Okay. Do harm or do someone harm. This means an injury or damage. Stress does a lot of harm to the body. You can see here the heart is under strain. So if there's harm, this is injury or damage. Stress does a lot of harm. Eating McDonald's. Eating McDonald's every once in a while, and every once in a while means sometimes. Eating McDonald's every once in a while won't do you any harm. That's okay. It won't do you any harm. Nicotine does a lot of harm to your lungs. Nice example. And the adjective is also very common, harmful. This is harmful to your health. It's harmful. Okay. Good. Let's keep going. You do overtime or you work overtime. This means to work longer than your usual working hours. Imagine you normally need to work from 9 to 5. If you work overtime, if you do overtime, maybe you work until 6 or 7. It's those extra hours. I'm trying to earn a bit more money before the holidays. So I've been doing overtime on weekends. If I work more than my usual hours, I can earn more. To do overtime. Good. Nice. Sopan, I felt overwhelmed by doing overtime chores. Right, we would say, I felt overwhelmed by doing overtime. That's clear enough. You don't need to say chores. And chores is usually in your house. Chores are cooking, cleaning, things like that. So at work, we don't do chores. We can say, I felt overwhelmed by doing overtime. And that's at work. Okay. One more column. We have one last column to go. Let's go to the top. This one's a funny one. Funny as in strange, not funny as in comical. To do time. To spend time in prison. If someone's doing time, they're in jail, they're in prison. Max is currently doing time for theft. Theft means stealing. That is theft. So Max is currently doing time for theft. He'll be out. He'll be out in 6 months. And you might hear this in a movie. They're doing time. Yeah, they're doing time. In prison. Mylene says, my boss made me do overtime. Yep, that's another good use of make. In this case, it means force. Made me do overtime. Right. Well, let's keep going. Okay. My ex-boyfriend is doing time because he was a drug dealer. That's a nice example with doing time. My ex-boyfriend is doing time. The burglar is now doing time for stealing my gold watch. Yep, he's in prison. I'm currently doing time for being too kind. Good. So, Lynn, overtime, is it the same as night shift? A night shift is very specific. You work at night. Overtime is to work longer than your usual hours. So if you work the night shift, that's normal. You planned to work the night shift. Overtime is extra hours. Okay? To do someone good. This means something has a positive impact on a person. Oh, it does someone good. You've been working a lot lately. It'll do you good. Oh, it'll do you good too. Sorry, I forgot the two. I'm just trying to fix my typo. Okay. It'll do you good to get away for the weekend. This will be positive. Get away for the weekend. Get away for the weekend. This means to visit another place to relax. Oh, I'm stressed. I need to get away for the weekend. I might go camping or something. Lilu says, listening to music does me good. Absolutely. If you listen to music, it can calm you down. It can cheer you up. Listening to music does me good. For me, going for a walk. Going for a walk does me good. Sometimes I just need to leave the house, go for a walk, clear my head. That does me good. Lawrence says, I can't do overtime. I have an appointment with my dentist. Yes, if your boss says, we need you to work overtime, we need you to do overtime, I can't. I have an appointment. Ganesh says, getting awards does me good. I think we all like awards. Yes, nice example, Lewis. Very good. Watching Arnell's English lessons always does me good. Love it. Thank you. Good example. Okay. Nice. To do without. This looks strange, doesn't it? To do without. But it has a very specific meaning. If you do without something, this means you function or you manage without something you usually have. We had to do without a fridge for a few days while it was being repaired. We had to function without it. We normally have a fridge, but for 1 week we needed to do without. Good. Okay. And I think this is the last, oh no, two more to go. Next one, we're almost done, 2 more. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. This means to do something that is morally correct. Morally correct, what does that mean? Well, look at this man here. You know, on one shoulder he has the devil. This one's the devil. On another shoulder, on the other shoulder, he has an angel. If you do something morally correct, you listen to the angel. You do what is correct. You do the good thing. This is what it means to do the right thing. Always do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Always be correct. Always be polite, even if no one is watching. Okay, good. Wonderful. So do the right thing. Last one, last but not least. Oh, okay. Suratana is saying, whenever I go to do the right thing, I end up making a mistake. That's a nice sentence. I try to do the right thing, but I end up making a mistake. Raul, I can't do without coffee every morning. Right, I can't do without it. Good. Okay, last one, last but not least, last do collocation. Do the bare minimum. Do the bare minimum. This means you don't make an effort. You only do the basics. You know, this phrase here has kind of a lazy feeling. If you do the bare minimum, it makes people think you're a bit lazy. Elaine only does the bare minimum. She'll never get promoted. She'll never get promoted, but she'll also never get fired. She just does the bare minimum so no one can criticize her. She can't be fired. Mohammed, right. If I lend you money, do the right thing and repay me. Pay me back. Exactly. That's doing the right thing. Melanie is asking, what's the difference between an angel and a fairy? An angel is religious. Let's take a look. I think if I show you pictures, then the difference will be clear. And I don't know what pictures will come up, so I apologize if they're not such good pictures. Angel. Let's do graphics. So you can see an angel is religious. Angels are in heaven. A fairy is mythical. A fairy is like this. They're magical, they're tiny, they have a wand, they do magic. That's a fairy. Like if you know the story Peter Pan, Tinkerbell is a fairy. Okay. Miranda says she is trying her best, but they all think she's just doing the bare minimum. Right, that's really unfair. When you're doing your best, you're trying your hardest, and people think she's just doing the bare minimum. That's unfair. Okay. Good, that was everything. Let's take a look. We've gone through all of these notes. Yep, these are a lot of collocations, a lot to memorize. It really is about memorizing. To help you practice, come back, rewatch the lesson, and really write your own example sentences. And sometimes students say, but no one corrects me. Why should I do this? A teacher's not going to correct me. It's brain training. Really, if you want to think in English, you need to start thinking in English. For each one of these, write your own personal example sentence. Okay. And if you want these notes, you can join my channel and become an English nerd. You can get access to all of my past live lessons with the members only password. Right, okay. And last thing I want to tell you, I will end the screen share. I'll stop sharing. Okay. Usually I go live every other Wednesday. So this Wednesday, yes. Next Wednesday, no. Yes, no, etc. However, next Wednesday, I'm going live again. I'll announce it on my channel. It's because next week I'm releasing my next workbook. I'm releasing my workbook on 179 phrasal verbs, and I won't have time to make a full normal lesson. So I'll be live again next week. Okay, good. So Maya says, I'm looking forward to being with you here in 2 weeks. Maya, I'll be here next week. I normally don't go live every week, but I'm here next week again, next Wednesday. I'll announce it on my channel. Dalton, nice to hear. Yes, I'm excited to be here with you again. Join me next Wednesday. We're going to look at phrasal verbs. It's going to be about phrasal verbs, the entire lesson. Wonderful. Every 2 weeks? Normally it's every 2 weeks. Next week is a different week for me. So I'll see you next week. Next week. Right. Ganesh is asking, what topic next time will you teach to form a formal letter? Next time, the topic is going to be about phrasal verbs. We're going to look at a lot of phrasal verbs, and I'll introduce my new workbook to all of you. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you for being here with me. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of the week.